Queen's Comic Podcast. Hey, let's go.
Hey, what's up, folks? This is the Queen's Comic Podcast. I'm Billy.
I'm Ian.
And this week's episode, we're going to talk about artists, AI, and how come you don't see that many artists at Queen's Comic Party. 3 years ago when we started the show, we originally had a lot of artists. And over time, they would come once and infrequent. But then we would start getting a lot of people who, some of the art I would see looked too similar to other stuff I've seen. So I decided, I was like, it's going to be more comic show vendors and then less like artists and stuff like that, which I felt kind of bad, but like you never know. And I spent the last week watching videos on people who were just decimating artists who are tracers, AI users, and everything in the comic book business. And it's so bad, I had to write notes. And literally in the 3 years, it's gotten so much more popular using AI for everything. It's even conversations I've had with people when they send me a text for a conversation. I'm like, oh, I've seen this before.
Right.
You know what I mean? But here's the funny part. I don't even believe AI exists. I think it's just a glorified Google search engine.
Yeah, I think you're wrong on that.
I don't think it's an artificial intelligence because I think it's not making its own choices now.
Well, it's not necessarily good at what it's doing in every particular case, but I mean, I don't know, some of the artwork's okay. It's just the fact that it's artificially generated makes me not care.
Yeah, 100%. But last time we were talking about the Fantastic Four book, and I said the artwork on the interior was so horrendous.
Yeah.
That I realized it's simple AI regenerative art to make copies. It's just something to learn what the Fantastic Four looks like and just make that. And it's gotten so bad that that a new app had to be started for artists, and they look up AI. And that brings us to our sponsor for today. No, I'm just kidding. But no, there's a new app called Kara, which artists are using that looks for AI and then boots you off for putting up AI generated art.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's on its beta system right now. We're beta testing.
Okay.
So I thought that was awesome. So if you're a comic book artist and listening to this, look up Kara, Cara. You know, and it's a pretty good app. I signed up to Billy Bombs. I post my photography on there and some of my neon paintings.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much it. It just was one of those things the thing about artists that kind of gets to me a little bit, it's I get a lot of blame for how come they don't get a lot of sales. And it gets to the point of I'm not trying to argue, but they're just yelling at me at one point. And I'm like, well, the comic guys do well. They're like, oh, we'll get people to buy art. And I'm like, I can't force who comes to the shows.
Right.
But then I'll watch Bronzeville go to New Jersey, and there'll be like a 2,000-3,000 people line.
Well, that was
to
nuts.
go into a convention. Yeah, you saw
nuts.
that, right? He has a good show, but he was like, I can't.
I'd have done the same thing. I'd have turned around too.
But the funny part is, all those people paid $40 each to go in to buy something. So over there, if you have 2,000 people, somebody's gonna buy something. It don't matter. Somebody will buy something. You know, the math is there.
But I mean, we know from walking around Artist Alley, even at bigger shows like NYCC, not every artist has a line at his table. There's plenty of artists that are sitting there just twiddling their thumbs all weekend. Some artists have it nonstop. Now, obviously, popularity and exposure is a huge part of why that is. But like some ridiculously talented independent artists, they can go there and lose their shirt, honestly.
Yes. Yes, but I try and support anybody with original artwork.
Yeah.
I'm not a big person to buy because I'm not a manga fan like that. Like I like manga, but I'm not picking up sweaters and T-shirts and posters. You know.
No, me neither.
You know, I'm not like that. Like I'll pick up original art or I'll pick up somebody's like a sketch. I think that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a fan. You know what I mean? And you'll see time. I don't know if it's gonna make more artists come out. It's just since the pandemic, everybody became an artist.
Yeah. Well, people had nothing to do.
Huh? People
had nothing to do.
I know, but it's all sorry. Somebody's playing music right outside my window. Hopefully, he catches that light and gets out of here. The big problem is a lot of people's graphic novels that also came out were all on the same subject, the pandemic, and nobody wanted to deal with that. You know what I mean? Nobody wanted to like. I don't want to talk about something that I'm dealing with right now. You know what I mean? I wanted
Sure.
to pass.
Yeah.
But since we're gonna get stuck on this, I don't want to. I want to show off the artwork I got that was original. I haven't had a chance to show off, so give me 1 second.
Yeah, do it.
All right. One of our regulars gave me an original piecer, Jasper Kuther.
Yeah, he's a talented guy. I'm curious to
Yeah,
see where
he's
he
a
goes.
talented kid, man. He's just barely 18, I think.
Yeah, he's just starting college in September.
Yeah, he's going to SVA. Hopefully it's good. And then I love it, so I got to get a frame for it. But then hold on a second. Sorry if I change stuff around over here. Also, one of these paintings has a little material on it that can rub off and get on everything else. I'm trying not to touch it.
Yeah, be careful with that.
All right. I talk a lot about Adam Kubert on here and how he gave me a sketch. I don't know if I showed this before.
No, I don't think you have.
Sketch.
I'll put that closer to the camera. No, that's cool. It's a rough sketch, but it still counts.
It's supposed to be the Hulk's 60th anniversary issue. And what happened was, me and him were talking about stuff. He was building a house, and I work construction nearby. So I was like, "Do you need any help with it?" And we talked. That's between us. But he was like, "I'm going to give you a sketch," and I was like, "Please don't." I was like, "Everybody here online is dressed up as Wolverine. I'm not. I don't want to be here." But he was like, "Well, what's your favorite character?" I was like, "And the Hulk is what I really know him for." And I was like, "I don't know. Why don't you do one with him and the Leader in space?" He goes, "I've never drawn the Leader my entire career." And I was like, "You did the Hulk for like what, 500 issues, bro? Come on." He was like, "No, seriously, I never drew the Leader." He's like, "So, all right, how about this?" He goes, "I'm gonna draw the Hulk versus the Leader in space with a bunch of alien ships in the back."
Nice.
And I was like, "Sure." And what happened is, because I know him from a Pantheon and all those books with a lot of space stuff, he saw my brother. And he tells my brother, he goes, "Hey, tell Billy, my bad. Marvel said Deadpool's got to be on the cover, so we're not doing that cover." So he took a photo of this, and everything was those artist pads.
Yeah.
So that's how his artwork looks. Chris, it's original art, but he uses that instead of storyboards.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was cool, and plus it has a good story to go with it. And here's the messy one. We at one of the venues I work at, we have the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So we had this independent artist show up and who did chalkboard art. And he gave me this one of Dr. Frankfurter.
Nice. Is that painted?
No, it's just the chalk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they were doing portraits and they just gave me one. They're like, "Oh, you were really nice today. Thank you." I was like, "Oh, so now I have to frame. I'm going to frame this one. I'm putting it separate." But I love stuff like that. But that's pretty much the end of art. Do you have did you get any books this week?
Yes. I did.
Do you have any of them you want to show, or should I go first?
Yeah, no. I'll go ahead. So on Saturday morning, you were set up at Royal Collectibles parking lot con. I couldn't do it because my buddy Mark.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. My buddy Mark was coming into town, so I couldn't set up for the day there. But before we went to the parking lot con, our friend Matthew and I went to Gotham to do some dollar bin digging. I didn't find really anything all that exciting. And those books are sitting over there, so I won't bother with them. But I found the 5-issue Paul Pope 100% miniseries for $1 a piece, so I was happy with that. And a couple of Swamp Thing run fillers that I needed. Nothing crazy, but books that I was happy to add to the collection. And then so at the parking lot con at Royal from Street Side Anthony, I got a couple of underground books. I got Corporate Crime Comics #1, first printing, and Corporate Crime Comics #2. So I haven't.
That's awesome.
I haven't had time to read these yet. This week has just been a shit show. So
yeah, of course
they're good. I'm going to assume they're good. And then from Heroes Reborn, John, I picked up the Vampirella Dave Stevens cover.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah, second printing, but I actually like the second printing better. The first printing has a different color. This has
that one. I never seen that cover.
Sorry,
I never seen the color.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Where the Vampirella is in orange instead of red and white or whatever.
Yeah, and then also from John, I got this issue of House of Mystery, which I mean most people will care about because it's the first appearance of Gus from Sweet Tooth.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I wanted it is it's a Corbin issue.
Nice.
I didn't have it. So he gave me a very good price on those. So thank you, John. From some random guy I had never seen before, I got a $1 issue of Swamp Thing,
Oh,
just a run filler. And then that was it.
I'll tell you what happened with me and that guy.
Okay, and that was it for Parking Lot Con. But I did from Whatnot get this issue, The Fightin' Five, which is the second appearance of Peacemaker.
Oh,
That's
nice.
pretty cool. Yeah, I picked it up for $10, so I was happy with
Which
that.
seller?
What?
Which seller?
I want to say it was the Bunky Brothers.
Nice.
Yeah, I buy from them on a fairly regular basis. They've always got interesting stuff, and they start things at $2, and you can get some cool stuff there. So I think it was Bunky Brothers. But also on Saturday, stopped at Midtown on the way home to pick up my new books, which kind of ties into what we were talking about last week. So I got the last issue of the Paul Reiser
Aliens with Paul
Alien
Reiser.
series. The ending's okay. It leaves things open for a second story, which I think they will probably do.
Mhm.
The last issue of Jeff Lemire's Fish Flies, which
Nice.
has been excellent from start to finish. Such a bizarre premise. Are you familiar with this at all?
Not at all.
No?
I like
Okay,
Jeff Lemire, but I never read that one.
Okay, so it takes place in Ontario, Canada, where there's an insect that's referred to locally as a fish fly. They show up for a very, very brief period of time during the summer, and then they die off just as quickly. And so it's set around that time in the summer in Ontario. A man robs a store, shoots a boy, and goes out to hide in a barn. And the barn belongs to an alcoholic single dad. And the daughter of the alcoholic single dad, he's abusive. He's a terrible person. The daughter finds him in the barn, and he starts to turn into a fish fly. And they develop a friendship, and it goes from there. It's very strange, but I'm a sucker for the stuff Lemire writes, but more of a sucker for the stuff that Lemire writes and illustrates. And this, I don't know, this seemed to be coming from like a personal place. I don't know exactly why. I don't know him at all, but just having the Canadian setting, he's from the Toronto area, tying it into like summer activities and stuff. Like, I got a bit of a weird nostalgia rush from it, having grown up in Canada. So it was a very interesting read. I don't know if it'll get collected at some point. It's only 7 issues, but the issues are like more than twice the size of a regular comic. So it's about 14, maybe 15 issues worth of content. It's good. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, something different. And then my friend Jim Zub, who's currently writing Conan, who we met at NYCC last year, I want to say like 2 months ago, posted some cover art for the Titan Conan series that he's writing. And one of the images was Colleen Doran's variant cover for Conan #1, which I think it was a 5th printing. That's how well that series is doing. They're up to a 5th printing. And I meant to pick it up. I spaced out on ordering it, and I found it in the Midtown bins. It's a Virgin variant cover. It's tough for on the camera to make out the detail in it, but like this artwork is fantastic.
Very nice.
So cool. And then I picked up the most recent issue of Ultimate X-Men, which was okay. I'm basically buying this for the art, but the story is still decent enough. And like I said last week, I'm still enjoying the Hulk, so I picked up the new Hulk. I haven't read it yet. But the coolest thing I got from Midtown, and I had this pre-ordered because it sold out before street date, was the most recent issue of the EC Fan-Addict fanzine.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw it online. I was wondering what that was.
It's absolutely killer stuff. It's 140 pages. It was put together mostly by Roger Hill, who was like a big part of EC fandom. He just passed away, I want to say maybe 2 months ago or so. So a big loss to the EC collecting community because he was, in it from the 60s and got to interview a bunch of the original guys and was, an important part of making sure that like the artwork stayed out there. He worked with Russ Cochran on some of the reprints and stuff. So, Roger Hill's stamp is all over this, but it's typical fanzine stuff. It's got, articles on various artists who did work for EC, but then some of the work that they did outside of EC, like here's some of let's see who did the splash page on this. Some Al Williamson art, but the stuff that impressed me the most is all the way in the back here. And in the 80s, okay, Graham Ingels wanted nothing to do with horror comics at all, or comics really in general. He moved to Florida, and I believe, if I remember right, he was teaching painting and teaching art. And Roger Hill reached out to him on behalf of Russ Cochran, and together they were able to negotiate with Ingels and get him to start doing some paintings of the EC characters. And so I can find it in here. A lot of those paintings are reproduced in this book, and I must have flipped past them because I was looking at them last night with every intention of showing them off. And of course, now I can't find them because I'm a jackass. That's okay. All right. So yeah. So there's an article here about how they got in touch with Ingels. It was all done through like letters and stuff, and then eventually phone calls. And they reproduce a lot of the paintings that he did.
Nice.
And they're super cool. And as Ingels got more and more into doing these, he started adding strange elements to them. Like, okay, that one here, the cemetery piece, is a fairly, traditional EC type of drawing or painting, I say. But in this one here in the bottom, he adds a naked lady.
Nice.
Yeah, and so as the paintings progress, the naked ladies start becoming recurring throughout the work, which is kind of interesting because you didn't see those in the original comics, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, the paintings are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and they talk about how what they were selling for back at the time they were made. And I remember that in one of the paragraphs he mentions that they were selling for around $7,000 to $10,000 each, which by modern standards would be, for a Graham Ingels painting, would be an absolute screamer of a bargain. But
True.
35 years ago, maybe not so much.
Yeah,
So
but 35 years ago, still the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my haul for the week. Your turn.
All right, mine's is a little bit nutty. It's gonna be a little all over the place. I won two things on eBay. I won a copy of American Splendor #6.
Oh, they arrived.
Yeah, fucked up beyond belief. The box.
Yeah.
Not because of the shipper. Post office bent everything. Luckily, they bent it the long way, like it was like printed. And I got number 9. Nice. Well, here's the thing. There's other books I got. These were the least of my problems. Let me show off like some of the more recent stuff. This I got it at Royal when I got there. The anniversary of Ninja Turtles Eastman cover with Laird.
Oh, cool.
Laird Eastman 2014. Zatanna Chrome cover for myself.
That's nice.
Yeah, I love her.
Who drew that one? Who drew that cover? Who drew that cover?
No, I'm not too sure.
Is it Art Germ?
It might be Art Germ because it looks like his style.
Yeah.
But here, give me 1 second to move some stuff around. And then the one of the DC brothers, there's these two guys that come to our shows, and I don't know anybody's name, so I just refer to you with like whatever nickname. Gave me last week an Italian Fantastic Four cover.
Oh, cool.
Book.
Yeah.
And it comes with Daredevil's Born Again, sorry, just called Devil Rinascita, Born Again. So it's two books in one.
Okay. So it's 80s
so
stuff.
It's John Byrne's book. And it's like actually my favorite. It's when She-Hulk joins the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna show some of the books I missed out on, but like here, like Young Love number 58. It's an alright cover, but it's kind of cool.
People ignored the romance comics for so long, and it seems like over the last 5 years or so, they're starting to make a pretty steady comeback.
Yeah, and every time I see it, I grab them now. Sorry, I'm grabbing some other stuff because I got Street Side took care of me on like some stuff, and I also want to grab the books that I have. Like a friend of mine gave me a collection. Sean from Royal Collectibles. You know him. He's the guy that we hang out with.
Yeah,
gave me a bunch of Green Lantern books that his dad bought newsstand because he knows I'm collecting them.
Oh, that was cool of him.
There's like the 140s. You know what I mean? Like they look great.
Yeah.
Like I'm so excited by this. But I don't want to end without talking about that guy you got the dollar book from. And these are all newsstands. They're all newsstand issues that he bought from a newsstand in Queen.
Very cool.
But sorry, there's not that I'm not ready. It's just I have too much. So one other delivery I got, I won on Whatnot from Gotham. I won this issue, which I didn't know if I had or not, but I won it.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's because I won this one first.
I am not familiar with that book.
Yeah, I figured as much. Called Interstellar Overdrive from Leonine Press. Just in January, February. Doug Holverson.
It's a good cover.
It's a great cover, but it was bent like this. All the books.
Yeah.
And Gotham does some of the best packaging.
Yeah, I've
They'll
never had a
put-
problem with any of their shipments.
No, you could tell it was the mailman did it because
Yeah.
it was both packages came at the same time. But then I don't have the covers available for this one, but these two, I think Thor #2 and Thor #3 from our boy Dude Pate on Instagram
Okay.
called Thorn. And then I finally got my copy of New York
Oh,
Outlaw.
good.
Yeah, so I was happy to have this. I'm flipping through it. Let me just double check if there's more. I have a bunch of signed
You're going to
books.
have a blast with that.
Yeah, I definitely know it. Oh yeah, the rest of the box. The guy you bought $1 books from, I needed to empty the garage. So during Royal Collectibles LotCon, I did not leave my table. I needed to sell everything on that table, and I sold it to one other vendor, everything,
Okay.
because I needed to empty the garage. Guess what happened when I went back to the apartment to pick up the 4 boxes of books me and you left?
No idea.
I found 4 more boxes of books that were in the fucking air shaft. I was like, all right, so now I have to go back and pick those up. I found all my drop cloths. I had to return the ones I bought because I didn't need them. I found them all.
Mm-hmm.
But at Royal, the guy you bought the $1 book was like, hey, you want to buy my box of books left? And I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, $5. So this is what I got. A lot of them was like okay stuff. Some of the stuff were signed by artists that people don't get along with now. I'm not going to bring them up. But
Yeah.
then I got like a
Yeah, I saw
like
that book.
huh?
I
Oh
saw
yeah,
that
but I
book.
got that in there too. I got a Rags Morales Action Comics #1.
Cool.
You know, I was excited because I'm a big Rags Morales fan. A Miguel Sepulveda book. I can't pronounce his name.
Who's that one signed by?
Miguel Sepulveda.
Okay.
He Who Should Not Be Named Shazam book.
Is that
It was in there. I didn't realize. Tony Daniels and Kyle Higgins signed Doc Savage book. Was it Doc Savage? No, Nightwing. I'm sorry.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, $5, the whole box. And then I got this one for myself. It's Mark Millar and Lenil Francis Yu and Joe Quesada. I paid him $10 more for this one. That was separate.
Look on the back of that one. Is that a Dynamic Forces?
No.
Okay, because I have that one
would've saw
signed.
that.
I have that one signed through Dynamic Forces with a COA.
Oh,
And I found it like in a dollar bin a while ago.
I always wanted Joe Quesada. I mean, a Mark Millar book because I have Joe
Yeah.
Quesada. I met Joe Quesada. Joe Quesada has a T-shirt, sticker, and everything from Queen's Comic Party. But then I grabbed. I'll show you the one that's my favorite out of here. The real reason why I grabbed them all, a Brandon Wilson like random book indie.
Okay.
You know, and the box was full. It's all the rest of it's gone.
Yeah.
Tony Daniel and Andy Diggle signed Action Comics.
That's cool.
Yeah, but what I really, really wanted, Max Brooks signed the Extinction book.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, I'm a big Mel Brooks fan, and I love his son's work, Max Brooks. And the Street Side blessed me with 2 copies of this book.
All right.
So I have 2 of them. I'm sure he gave you one.
He didn't, but I think I have like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, don't worry. He will. You know him.
Yeah.
And then what's cool is a Mike Cho cover of his History of the Marvel Universe.
I like that cover with Galacticus up top there looking all scary.
Mm-hmm. I collect this guy's artwork. I talk about it in a lot of episodes. So it was not bad picking up stuff. And then also I have books that I couldn't show off last time. I think this is an Italian Peanuts book that I got from my friend Charlotte. My friend Charlotte. That's her name online. I got it from my friend Erica. Sorry. Like I feel bad. It costs everybody got a nickname. I'm Billy. You know what I mean? I got this for $1.
Oh, I mean, it's a beater
Oh,
copy.
it beats to death.
Is that the omnibus? The whole thing?
Yeah, it's the whole thing. 1 volume edition.
Yeah, but for $1. I mean, just to have it and read it. It's such a good series.
Yeah.
Do you watch the YouTube channel Strange Brain Parts?
No, I never heard of it.
He's like a comic book historian. He just put out an episode, I think it was last week, about the history of Bone. That's really good.
Oh, tonight, that's gonna be tonight's episode to watch when I'm hanging out.
Yeah.
Strange. What is it called?
Strange Brain Parts.
Strange Brain Parts. I'm gonna check
Yeah.
it out. And then I got one of these Mad Mod books or Laughing the Mod World.
It's funny.
It's just random artwork. I always consider these. This is from Roy Dottie.
Okay.
Penguin Elabibi.
I don't know what that
This is a recent book.
Okay.
On the back is Robinson Crusoe. I have no idea what this is. I figured Nelson will explain it to me because this is what he's been collecting, like foreign comics.
Right.
I got two more things. Don't worry about it. And then I finally got a copy of Red from Warren Ellis.
Oh, have you read it before?
No, I saw the movie, but I wouldn't watch the movie until I saw this.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
You'll like it.
it's Warren
fun.
Ellis, and I don't know who Hamner is or Cully Hamner. Never heard of him. I'm gonna watch it. Want to read it?
You'll enjoy it.
And this is what made me go to the thrift store. I saw this, the Will Eisner's Life in Pictures.
Oh, that's really cool.
$30 book for $2. Everything. I have some of these stories in here, but like it's cool. Like it's like I forget what books they throw in here, but I have a lot of Will Eisner stuff. I always wanted to meet this guy, but he passed away before I could.
Yeah.
And I try and collect all that shit.
Those were whatnot purchases?
No, this was all thrift store.
All thrift store stuff. Okay.
Anything trade paperback was thrift store. I don't buy nothing on Whatnot that's heavy.
Yeah.
Whatnot was just 2 books from Gotham.
Okay.
I wish I'll show it to you next time you're here. Go through that book, man, because I've never seen that one.
Yeah, no, I'd be curious to check it out.
What else is like the agenda lately with comics? Because I know you're going to be off for a week, so I won't see you.
I'm off for a week. I'm back first Saturday of August. But everybody who's not going on vacation should go to the Brooklyn Invasion show on Saturday.
Yep. We got Brooklyn Invasion. It's going to be packed house. We got packed with vendors. We got new vendors coming in. Dusty Bins is coming back with Golden Age stuff. So I'm already scared. A bunch of guys coming in, new vendors, a lot of new vendors.
Nelbus.
Nelson is making his comic book debut.
Yep.
And he's selling his childhood collection, so I'm dying to see what's that. But I'm also trying to stay away from it.
I'm upset. I'm going to miss it.
Yeah, right. The other thing, also the week after the day you come back is a show we sponsor called Bronx Anime Expo.
Yep.
And they just sent me some of the stuff that we were talking about doing at shows. I was like, yo, listen, I have some good backdrops. He sent me a photo. He's like, I made it.
He did. Okay.
It's gonna be amazing.
Well, let's not spoil it. Let the people who
We're
show
not gonna
up
spoil
enjoy it.
But holy shit, JC and Yasu are some of the best creative people I know. I was just joking around it.
They're the nicest people. Nicest
forget
people
about it. That's great. But I was joking around about it. I was like, over time to do, and they were like, no, we're gonna do it. That's a great idea. And I was like, all right. And when he sent me the video, I was like, show's over. That's gonna be the best anime expo in New York State.
Take a lot of pictures.
I will. It's gonna be a good show. I'm bringing my camera. I'm gonna have fun. I can't really go nuts on shopping because I just I took care of something big finally, and we're good, man. We're good. I changed the apartment around. Sorry about the light on the posters.
No, look, it's better.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I need the feng shui is off here. I need a bigger bed because I'm a big fat boy. You know what I mean? Like, and we gotta change everything around. This is my final move, other than the grave. Well, I'm not moving nothing out of this apartment. So I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
But is there anything coming up that you're waiting for? Weird Fantasy didn't come out with the newest trade this week.
Den Volume 2 hardcover from Dark Horse, I think, is out next week or the week after. So that's a big one for me because it's Corbin, right? So
yeah, but at least it's all the Den.
It's what?
It's all the Den now, right? 1 and 2 is all of them.
No, I think there's going to be 4 or 5 volumes.
Wow, how many fucking books did he put out?
It ran for I don't know how many years in heavy metal where it was serialized. And then there was the Den Saga, and then there was the Den ongoing through Fan-Addict, which was 12 issues. So there's at least enough material for 4 volumes, I would think, but there might be a 5th.
Fair. Well,
I don't
remember
know.
how I
Like it came back in Heavy Metal. Like it wasn't just one run. They had a few different stories serialized in Heavy Metal.
that's
So
dope.
it's cool to get it all compiled in one spot. And Jose Villarrubia is doing the color remastering on it, and he's treating it with a lot of respect. I know some people were upset about the coloring job on the first volume of Den. I don't know. To me, it looked great. So I don't know if it was like intermittent problems, or maybe people are more familiar with the original material than I am, because I didn't read Heavy Metal in 1977 because I was 2. But I was happy with it. So if they can keep up the quality, then I'm going to buy all 5.
Fair.
Simple. Yeah. Also,
Is Volume 1 still available?
I'm sorry?
Volume 1 still available or sold out?
It went to a second printing, so it should be around.
Excellent.
Yeah. I also saw today that Patton Oswalt's Minor Threats, the series that was going through Dark Horse, started about 2 years ago, just got optioned for a Netflix series. And all I'm going to say is, I told you so. Maybe not you specifically. I think it was actually Anthony I was talking to about it. But when Patton Oswalt started writing a comic, I was like, this is probably going to turn into something, because he's obviously got these big Hollywood connections. He's very well liked. He's got a great sense of humor. He's a pop culture. I think it's fair to say he's a pop culture icon to a certain degree. And I was like, why would he be dabbling in comic books if this IP wasn't going to be potentially turned into something else? You know,
everything gets IP'd and everything gets optioned.
It does. It just, this one seems so obvious to me that I was like, buying it at a dollar bin. So I don't know.
That's because you think your chickens are coming to roost on that one. That's why.
Yeah, maybe.
That's why, bro. The guy's a brilliant actor, but it doesn't mean it's gonna be great. I have those books. They're okay.
They're okay. It didn't blow my mind.
The man is hilarious.
Yeah.
But doesn't translate.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we need more superhero shows? Probably not, but we're getting some.
So. No. Let it come out. Enjoy it. Maybe it'll be better than anything we saw.
Could be.
But I'm just trying to say, it was obvious it was going to come out as something.
I thought so too, and I was telling people that.
There's a company out there you've heard of. Maybe, I don't know if you're into comics long enough to hear it. It's called Bad Idea. Every single thing they ever came out was only for the IP.
It just seems like they're a testing kitchen for television and movie properties.
Only, but then they went belly up.
Yeah.
And that's why we opened up our own business. Terrible idea.
Bad Idea didn't go belly up, though, because they're displaying it San Diego this weekend.
Tell that to my garage filled with gay pride Bad Idea hats. All right? A lot of stuff that they're storing in the stores I run.
I will talk to your garage. I will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, word. My bad. But that's the thing, is like, I like their books. I thought some of them were great. Peter Milligan is a great writer.
Yep.
Some of the other guys are phenomenal writers, but you saw 2-3 issues and done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was waiting to see what else comes out. I know whatever they do is good, but the problem is it's what killed them really, and this is the honest truth, is those stupid graded books of invisible books saying 1.5, 2.5, 10.0. You get what I mean?
Yeah, that was a dumb gimmick. And the other thing that made them difficult to get behind was they made it a genuine pain in the ass to get their stuff.
Yeah, like West Coast is one version, passive aggressive.
Yeah.
And then East Coast is aggressively passive. You're like, yo,
what started off as like an interesting, unique marketing idea got run into the ground.
Yeah, true. But I did the same thing with Turok. Because I just saw some guy buy a Turok for $5.
Right.
And then I saw another guy post for $60.
Good luck.
Bro, I am tired of that stuff. But what are you gonna do? Mm-hmm. What's another thing? You remember I got upset I missed out on the G.I. Joe box sets to read?
Yeah.
The compendium's coming out in October.
Oh, there you go.
1 through 50. I was like, bro, thank God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was embarrassed I missed out on something major, but I'm okay. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But other than that, trade wise, hopefully a lot more books come out. I hope more writers get stuff out. Distilleries always is killing it right now with some stuff they're putting out. I want to see all the Jock stuff coming out because I love his artwork.
Get the Somna hardcover.
Maybe. I already have the single issues. That's why.
Oh, you do? I didn't think you had them.
Yeah. I have all the single issues.
You just haven't read it yet.
because they're polybagged.
It's one of my favorite comics of the last year. I love
Yeah,
it.
because I was reading it in Everyone Comics the other day when I went to go pick up my books, and I was like, "This is really well done."
It's fantastic.
Yeah, actually, they're the ones who introduced me to Kara, the beta testing app for artists. Because they're all on there trying to show off their stuff, and also there's nowhere to go that's not a bunch of bots.
Yeah,
in social media.
right.
I'm excited for all these comic events coming up. I like all these other places showing up with all the artists. Well, not artists, but all the voiceover actors showing up. I don't know how long it's going to last for because of these high prices at the door, but it's going to be fun. I'm going to stick to what we do: Queen's Comic Party, a Brooklyn Invasion, and we're going to start New York City Sci-Fi Party, which is going to be a movie night once a month starting in September. And I'm going to see who I can drum up for those shows.
Okay.
It's just a movie night, nothing special.
Right. I might be able to help with that, but we can talk offline about it.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's pretty much it for this week's episode.
Yeah, I think we're done.
All right, so signing off. I'm Billy Bombs.
I'm Ian.
Later.
Bye.
Queen's Comic Podcast.